In today's video, I'm gonna give you a tour of our shop. We run a detailing business both out of a shop and van, but today's primary focus will be what we have in our shop, the tips I give you if you're gonna get your own shop or if you're working out of a home garage, and just kind of showing you around on how or what we have around here. I'll try to have the links to most of the tools and products in the video description box below. I might miss a few. If I do, just let me know. And if you want to scroll up through this video, I'll have the chapters on this video as well, so you can just kind of browse around because this might be quite a long video. But other than that, let's get started with the store. So let's start over here, since we do spend a lot of our time in this specific section. Over here we have two air hoses. Both of them obviously work. For us, we like to have an air hose on each side. That way we don't have to share anything. And you see that's kind of a theme. That's kind of a theme across the entire shop, is that there's almost two of everything. That way we don't have to wait or ask for the other person. We just use our own. So there's two air hoses. Each one has two tornadors, two other attachments. We have it on this 15 gallon DeWalt compressor. This one is great for the use. It does stay on for almost the entirety of the detail, just because we use so much air that it's just going to keep on kicking on. But fantastic, for our use, it's fine. It gives us enough PSI to run both tornadors or whatever we're using. And I don't know, I haven't used that many other air compressors, so I can't really tell you how loud or not loud it is compared to, like, other units out there, just because I haven't used them. Over here we have our towel organization system, if you want to call that. I've seen other ones online, but I actually bought this one locally at the Container Store. I think that's what it's called. And I like this one the most because this one actually has this little top bar up here that we can hang our towels from. Most of the other ones that I've seen doesn't include this one, so I do actually like this one a lot more because this actually comes in handy to dry our towels. Now over here we have our multi-purpose towels, which I'll show you later. We have our car wash towels slash mitts, and then we have our premium towels. Our premium towels for us is for like polishing, removing wax. So those are like the three main categories that we have for the most part, is multi-purpose wash towels and then our premium towels. Now we have this wash bucket. There's a mop section here, but we hardly ever use it. Maybe like to clean the restroom and the office, but other than that we don't really use it because we're going to use the vacuum to like suck up any water, or we're going to put air movers on the floor to dry out any water areas. We have a table here that we unfold, like when we're doing paint correction or something, and we just want to lay out all the tools, all the pads, the towels that we need. We'll open this up and just have everything laid out. That way we don't have to go into the cabinets and stuff and grab everything. All the compounds, polishes, the pads, the polishers, the cords are all laid out, so we can just quickly grab it and move on, which does help out a lot. But I'm gonna move this down right here. So over here, not the greatest system, but we just put a bucket here, or a crate with all our dirty towels. So whenever anything is used, we just throw them in here, and then I don't know, whenever we have time, whenever we really need them, or whenever we just ran out of all pads, we'll go and clean them with our pressure washer and in the sink and all that. But that's just kind of here to store things. We have our clay mitts over here, which you shouldn't be touching that. We have our clay mitts to dry. We have our air compressor tools. We have a few other bags here. Like for instance, here we actually have our glass cleaning towels. So we actually do separate those as well. I should have mentioned that right there. But other than that, we have our cleaning guns right here. If we open this is going to have just more miscellaneous sanding stuff. So a lot of our sanding paper here is the 3-inch holder for the sandpaper, and just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that we don't really access. The primary thing that we use is this top shelf right here for just sanding paper, clay bars perhaps. But this one is more just like strictly for storage, not so much that we really open this one up. It would be great to have like a full-on storage system. I forget the brand, New Age I think it's called, but we really want like a full-on storage system that would make life much better and just cleaner than having a bunch of different shelves around here. All right, so if we come closer here now, we have our towels and pads. Like I said, we have all our pads here. When we have them all clean, they don't really fit up here, so it kind of helps that some are like, they're not all clean, because then we need to make more space. And then, not a big problem, but I guess a problem you have to face when you get a shop like as cool as it is like you have to organize everything pretty efficiently. And if you have a lot of things, like your shop just condenses when you have more things, when you have more shelves, when you have more storage, when you have more machines, like you think like a shop is this big, but once you start adding shelves and things and tools and stuff, you're like, oh man, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, you know, that's exactly what happened here, and it's going to continue to happen as we build up with more inventory. So we have all our pads up here. We have our premium towels and our glass cleaning towels here. We have our wash mitts and our wash towels. For the most part, we use wash towels, so we don't really grab too often here unless we're low on clean wash towels. That's when we'll go over here. And then down here we have our drying towels, and then down there again just more miscellaneous things that we don't really grab, but it's just to kind of throw we don't really use too many times tools. But over there is our drying towels. If we come over here, this is our charging station. I actually have a video on how we charge like dozens of batteries. Up here again, miscellaneous things we don't really go too often. Up here here is the main station on how we charge everything. We have a bunch of ports. We have a 10 outlet charging station or plug, so we can hook up all our units. We never keep this on overnight. It's only when someone's here at the shop. That way you just, I don't know, we don't want there to catch a fire in here or anything. Then over here we have our battery station. Anything here in the ready bin is ready to go. Anything that's not fully charged either needs to be on a charging station or it needs to be put in the low. So there's never, like, if it's empty, it should never be anywhere else other than being charged. If one is not charged, right? If one is not charged, it shouldn't be anywhere but being charged, or it needs to be in the low section. It should not be out anywhere else, because if it has to go to the field, if we have to use on the job, and then you put it in, pause, and it turns out it is uncharged, or there's no charge on it, then that just kind of slows everyone down. And then over here we have our ozone machine. Over here we have more miscellaneous things like a heat gun, a few other lights, a fogger, but we don't really touch that too often. So okay, so this is the next cabinet, storage, whatever you want to call it. Over here is our polisher cabinet and polishes and liquids basically. So over here, I mean, it's basically just holding our polishers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 polishers. Some are 1 inch, some are 3 inch, most are 5 inch. We're gonna order a few more. And then over here on this shelf, it's primarily compound and polishes. So we have a ton from Oberk, 3D, from Malco, Griot's, Chemical Guys. But we specifically just, like, for the most part, as of now, just use the Oberk system, but we have a bunch of them right here. And then on the bottom shelf, I don't know if you can see that, it's just more miscellaneous things like Goof Off, our Sonax, just a bunch of miscellaneous. I mean, we have a bunch of like liquids, like products and such, but you know, a lot of times it's like a small use case and then we don't really need it, so we'll just put them back down there when that happens. But yeah, that's our, pretty straightforward. These Husky ones are from Home Depot. I think they're like $300 or somewhere around there. So, one thing you got to realize is, like, in business, of course, like whenever you want something to happen, right, installing new lights, getting more storage, like all this costs money, right? Every single move that you do, every single move, I don't care what it is, every single move, any little thing you want to change or you want to expand, or you want to store or organize, it's gonna cost money. Every little thing. Like, I know it's like you see this growth, like not us, but like anyone, any business, any channel, is like you see the growth, or you see the improvement, or you see things getting bigger and bigger, and it's like every little move costs money, right? It's very, very expensive to continue to grow an operation. Not just a detail, it's just any operation. It costs a lot of money, whether you want to paint walls, you want to bring something down. And yes, you can do it yourself, but then at that point, it's your time that you're spending. And yes, you can save a couple hundred, a couple thousand, but depending on your operation, like, you can't always do everything yourself, or it doesn't make sense for you to do everything yourself because it might move too slow, or you might not do a good enough job. So whether it's money or time, you're gonna spend a lot of it in order to continue to grow. This part I really don't like, but based on the distance that we have between the shelves and the cabinets here, we don't have much room to do anything else. So we'll get this figured out at some point, but literally this is like a $15 little cabinet thing from like Target or something. It just has more miscellaneous things. I'm not gonna bother with that. These, like, we have like some extra brushes, some extra pads, some extra more miscellaneous things, and then bottom, this is more so just storage, right? With like more gloves, more brushes, like not much going on here. It's more for inventory, right? Like if we need another scrub mitt, we're gonna have it here. If we need like some more scrub pads, we're gonna have it here. So not much is going down there. Over here, this is what we use quite often. This is our the platforms that we use. These are fantastic. They're at, I think we got them at Home Depot for, I think, like $130 or $150 each. Expensive relative to like this one, which is like 40 bucks. But this one is fantastic. You can raise it up, down, and it's very stable and secure. So we highly recommend those. We'd want these for the van, but we're doing less and less mobile work now, so that one's kind of coming into question already. But these are fantastic for getting up to. I mean, we're 5'5", you know, so we're not the tallest people in the in the building, so we need the extra height to get to those lifted trucks and such. And up here again, it's just more storage. So I forget what's in here, to be honest. I think there's like a used vacuum that it's just we don't really use. Just extra hoses. This is our dump bucket for the extractor. When the wastewater is full, that's where we dump it in. Broken brushes, but nothing. This is just storage up here. This is just holding things until at some point we can move it somewhere else. So over here is where we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 interior light bars. I've made a review on this on the Proper Care channel. We've been using them, I think, over a year now. They work great. We actually have another charging station up here, or port, so that's how we charge all of these right here. Over here, this is a shelving from Home Depot as well. I think it was probably like, I don't know, I can't even remember now, like 300 bucks, 200 bucks, I don't remember. So up here is one, there's a lot of products that I get sent, and you know, I appreciate brands, companies sending me products, but you know, it's free for me to receive them, but it's not free for me to hold them, right? Because like the more stuff I get, which I get it, like the privilege, I do appreciate it. But on my end, it has to go somewhere. It's gonna take up space. And so over here, we have a bunch of products that I have not gotten to. Actually, most of this is products that I have not gotten to, which is just, again, storage. We have a bunch of towels up here, like these Kirkland towels. We buy them like 500 at a time, so we'll get like a big shipment of like 8 packets of towels, and again, we just gotta store them until we need them. So storage plays a big role into like a shop, and just because, you know, depending on where you are with your business and such, but you know, you kind of stock up on them because you buy them for cheaper and bigger bulks, and then holding them until you need them is a different problem altogether. So then we have extra, like things that it just makes sense to buy in packets, like the tire shine or the trim shine. We buy them like in bulks of like 6 or 12 or something like that on Amazon. So it just comes out cheaper, and again, we don't have to worry about ordering them as much because we get them in bulk. Over here, we just have a bunch of empty bottles. So whenever one breaks or we need a trigger, we just go in there, get one, replace it, and you know, keep the operation going. Over here, we have our bigger gallon sizes. Now, realistically, we only use around like we're gonna use the Avenge, we're gonna use BioBreak, we're gonna use like iron remover, but a lot of these, again, like you could probably remove 75% of these and only leave the ones that we need. But again, it goes down to storage. Like we need to put them somewhere. If we had a bigger shop, they would go like somewhere else because we don't need that much here. And again, companies sending you stuff, you kind of have to store it somewhere. So down here is the thing that we actually use. So we have Super Clean 10-to-1, Super Clean 4-to-1, Superior dressing here, Optimum no rinse, diluted clay lube, a defoamer for our vacuum that's more specific to us, DI water, just so we can fill up with DI water, and then an interior leather cleaner that we don't really use it's just been there. Down here we have our multi towels, so this is where we throw them. Once we bring them from being washed, we just dump them in here, so we can just grab it like this, pretty easy. And then there's a toolbox and a spotter kit. So over here, again, like it just, and that's like this is a great example that I first heard from Linus Tech Tips, where he says when he was first shooting in his home, the return on investment or the production value from working out of his home was super high, because you know, if you worked in the kitchen, that's one set. If you film in the living room, that's a second set. If you film in the bedroom, that's a third set, right? And you can kind of, you need minimal lighting to light up the set, because it's a small condensed room. You know, there's already blankets and frames that kind of help you with echoing or reverb, and it's like for the production value that you get, it's high production value with not that much cost. But as you move into a bigger warehouse that's just an empty space, your production value is minimal, but you have to spend a lot of money in order to get even half-assed to what you were at your home. So because it's very true, like in your house, if you're working at your home garage, well, you don't need to, you can wash the vehicle outside on the driveway. You have the garden hose, you have the pressure washer. You need very minimal lighting in order to light up your garage. You can use one light for paint correction. You don't need extension cord. You don't need a 50-foot hose, like air compressor hose. You don't need a lot of things because like you're working in such a small area that it's enough to just do vehicle, that you can just run your business out of your home garage. But as you get to a bigger unit, as you get to more space, you have to spend more money to get the same type of production value out of what you are working at your home garage, right? And of course, like it's when it makes sense. And, it's obviously your business has to be making money in order to do that. But it just, once he said that, I was like, man, that's very true. Like you have to spend more money to make it productive. All right, so now we're in the corner section here. This is a broken canopy. We have a new one that's in the van already. We have 2 fridges here. It would make sense to get just one big one, but this is what we have right now. This one just keeps waters and Gatorades and the smelling salts for working out. And then over here, this has a freezer that we keep Smucker's PB&Js in. But here, like we're just holding the coatings in here. So realistically, we could probably get rid of this one and we'll be fine. Microwave. And then over here we have our equipment section. So we have 2 vacuums. Again, we have 2 because once we have cars in, we have one on this side, one on the other side. We have this vacuum here because we don't have a drain, so we use a containment mat and we vacuum up the water from the containment mat. Yes, very annoying, but we get the job done. We have we have a steamer right here and another steamer over there, which I'll show you here in a bit. It's a McCulloch 1385. We don't really use it that often, but we have it here. Then we have 2 extractors and 1 spotter. The 2 extractors are the Mighty 1470, I think it's called. One's actually broken, one works, which is why we use this one. So these 2 kind of just sit there in kind of the abyss and just kind of wait around and do nothing. We have some extra hoses here that again we don't use. They're just there for storage, just storing things. We have the those mats that you put under the driver's seats when we turn the vehicle to the customer. We have 4 air movers here. We're missing 2. They're on the ground right now. And then we have another vacuum that we pulled off the van because we now have a Johnny vac in there. So again, we're just storing something in there. No use, it's just collecting dust, but we're just storing it. And then we have a battery powered vacuum here. And we do actually use that one when we're doing touch-up spots out there outside of the shop. Okay, so now we're on the other side of the shop. Please don't mind the soft lights right here. So this one is just kind of our makeshift poor man's kind of pressure washer system, you want to say, because this shelf I think is like $100 or something from Home Depot again. Honestly, we should clear out like a lot of this stuff because this doesn't really have to be on there. We have the the Aqua Pro steamer right here. We have about 4 different pump sprayers. We have the Big Boy Blower Pro bungee cord down. That way we can just turn it on and walk around the vehicle. That's what we had it intended for from the very beginning. I have a review on this already on the Proper Care YouTube channel where I review in depth this blower, so you want to check that out. Now down here we have the Karcher 1700, and again we don't have that bungee cord down, but it stays put where it's at. Over here to your left, to your left, we have a 50-gallon drum because this unit also doesn't have a water spigot. I know, we all make mistakes. You live and you learn. So we fill this up with 50 gallons. It's just on here. It's just on this what do you call this? It's just on here to just keep it organized. But then we have a pump right here, so it's not gravity fed. We have an actual pump. We just hook it up every time we're going to use it. It's annoying, but look, it's just, it's a part of life. You live, you learn, you keep on going. It is what it is. And again, this just goes down to storage. Like, do we need this blower right here? Do we need this blower right here? No, we don't. But then where do we move it? There's another blower in here as well. Like, there's a lot of things that we can move out the way if we had more space to throw it somewhere, but we don't. So a lot of things just get cluttered. And yes, you could be like, well, just throw away. It's like, yes, we can, but then at that point it's like, we're not throw it away, but how about give it away or something. But it's like, we are going to continue to grow, so like we eventually will need it at some point, so we need to store it, or if something breaks we have backups. But it's that whole intermission between that actually happening that you're just storing stuff. And sorry for all the mess here, but over here we have a bunch of buckets. We have 2 wheel buckets. Each one has its own sets of brushes. That way each person can be on each side without needing, without waiting for something. We have 3 pump sprayers, 2 of which are all-purpose cleaner diluted at 4:1. Again, it goes back to each person has their own thing. Then we have another pump sprayer with the Optimum No Rinse diluted as a clay lube. 2 of the pump sprayers are the Foam Pro 12, which are fantastic. I have another review on that on this channel actually. And yeah, and then we have 2 other wash buckets. One is for just to discard the dirty wash towels, and then another one is the wash solution. It sounds complicated, it's not. It just, when you have 2 of everything, it looks like it's a lot more. These soft boxes here are for videos, which I'm not using right now, but we are using them. And again, like, this is why it's like, it gets very, very cumbersome and very annoying in this shop, because there's not a lot of space, there's a lot going on, and just a lot of times we're moving a whole side of a shop to make room for something else, just because we have this many things. Again, like, you know, could we have avoided this? I mean, I guess, but it's like, you know, at some point you're just gonna keep on buying things, and it gets to this point and you're like, dang, like I need more space to keep on working. And I do want to touch on the electrical reels. These are fantastic. Even if you have a home garage, I would recommend you get some type of reel, because these make life so much easier. We have one right here, we have another one up there, and the last one is up there. Now each one is 50 feet, and given the space, it reaches to every point that we need. Like, the 50 feet basically reaches everywhere, just because it's not the biggest space. But I would highly recommend you get one, especially if you're in your shop setting. Get, you know, 2 or 3, because it makes a world of difference not having to go get an electrical cord and unwrangle it and stretching it. You literally just pull it, use it, and then, you know, rack it back up once you're done with it. So highly do recommend some electrical reels. We got ours off of Amazon. Again, I'll have everything linked down below for you. Another nice little feature that we added are these Malco mat holders. We got these again off of Amazon, and it actually comes in clutch to put the mats here. Like, if you have a shop again, or a home garage, I do recommend you get some of these, because it, like, to hold up the cloth mats, the rubber mats, and to clean them off from here instead of like bending over and such, makes a very good difference. Like, we'll put them here, we use the air compressor to blow it out, we'll vacuum it here, we'll agitate it here, and we'll extract right here. Not needing a table, not doing it on the ground. So these do come in very handy. And because this is 100% gym related, not detailing related, I'm gonna quickly go through our gym. So in the gym, in the back, we do have a gym. This is a Vulcan 6-post power rack. We have a custom made deadlift platform. We have a deadlift jack right here. We have a tree plate from Rogue. The plates are primarily from Strength Co. We have 1 set from Rogue. We have a Black Widow, I think it's called, tricep dip that absolutely no one uses. We have 6 bars. We have 2 Ohio Power bars. We have 1 multi-grip from Rogue. We're gonna get a few more coming in. We have a Kabuki Strength safety squat bar. We have a Titan lat pull down machine with a ton of attachments. We have not that many sets of dumbbells, but we do use them. We have a bunch of other plates that we bought locally for future use, but we haven't really used them there. We have 1 Rep Fitness incline bench. We have 1 Titan incline bench, and then we have 1 Rep Fitness 14-inch wide bench. And then we have a lot of other little small things, like a bunch of belts. We have a bunch of collars. We have a bunch of knee straps, wrist wraps, and basically anything that you need in order to get a good lifting session here, we have it. Okay, and here are the 2 carts that we have. I ordered these from Car Supplies Warehouse, I believe. The primary thing that I would recommend if you get a cart is to get the bottle placeholder things. That way they're not all shaking around loosely. They can all move around but still have their own place so they don't fall over and such. The containment mat, I haven't mentioned this. We got this on Amazon as well. I'm gonna link everything down below. But this is the biggest size that they had, and I'm telling you, we completely trashed this thing. We run over it, we put cars on it, we fold it, we throw it around, and it's been holding up absolutely fine. So highly recommend this one if you guys need a containment mat for your situation. Hopefully you have a drain, but if you don't, this could be one. Or if you're mobile too, if you're like in California and you need a containment mat, I know that's like a thing now, or shit, I don't know. Anyways, I'll link it down below. Over here on our carts, we have more pump sprayers, we have some drills, and it's just a bottle holder. That's all. There's nothing special about these 2. We could actually condense all this into 1, but then if we do that, again, we have to go into storage mode and like put this somewhere, and it's like, just have them both out here. But a lot of times, like, if we don't need something, we'll try to put it back in that cabinet. But again, it all just goes back to storage. Okay, but that's basically it. I'll wrap up the video right here. I still could show you the office, the restroom, but that's pretty minute. nothing's really changed there, and I don't think much people care about that. So if you are interested in any of the tools and products that I use, I will try to have most of them linked down below. I will miss a few. If there's something very specific that you want to see with like the link to it, just let me know and I'll try to go find it, but I'll try my best to have them linked down below. If you want to leave any comments or questions, just leave that in the comment section. If you want to download the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, if you want to check out my podcast, the Detailing Business Class podcast, or if you want to watch those other videos on the big boy blower or the other reviews that I've done on the light bar, then you can check my second YouTube channel, the Proper Care YouTube channel, and then again, that'll all be linked down below. Thank you very much for coming along with this tour, and I'll see everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.